Hello, welcome to the Digital Masterclass with Google and Uberall. How marketing drives revenue in the age of near me. Before we dive into the presentation, I would like to introduce Gregor and myself. I'm Norman. I'm the head of marketing with Uberall, a global leader in location marketing with more than 1.25 million locations under management. We are also one of the biggest Google My Business partners worldwide. Before Uberall, I spent my career in AdTech and MarTech, amongst other things, with Google in Europe, North America, and Asia for 8 years. Gregor, how about yourself?
Hey, I'm Gregor Fan-Plath, and I'm an omnichannel specialist working with Google's largest customers from the retail and finance sector.
I'm going to talk about what does it actually mean, local search, near me search, and the importance of it. Then Gregor is going to explain the various local ads formats and going to talk about his learnings from his work with omnichannel leaders. To finish off, I'm going to present a couple of best practices and success stories that Uberall has been seeing when we worked with our customers. So let's just wind a bit back. It's no secret, it's been just a mere 2 years that I came back to Germany. Me and my family live in Munich, and about a year ago in February 2019, it was the first snow of the winter on a Saturday morning. My daughter wakes up, sees the snow, runs to me, grabs my legs and says, "Papa, sleighing." Oof. Of course, we dissolved our household, so I don't have a sleigh. It's Saturday, 10:30. Amazon clearly is not an option. What did I do? I went into Google Maps and looked for sleigh in Munich. And yes, the results that you see here on the screenshot, they are not too far off what I got presented. There was literally nothing in my vicinity that offered a sleigh. Few solutions outside of Munich, but who drives 20 kilometers when it's unclear whether they still have them in stock? Take a step back. Was I just shopping around, or did I really want to buy something? Yes, I was 100% conversion. When did I want to buy it? Now. And did I care whether the sleigh was 20 euro or 50? No. All I cared about was this little thing that was holding my leg and wanted to go sleighing. This is the power of near me. So what Gregor and I want to do today is take you on a journey into a perfect world. Imagine we could address an audience with little price sensitivity that is ready to buy now and offers you conversion rates in the double digits. Welcome to the age of near me. How did we actually get there? Let's wind back maybe 10, 12 years. I'm with my mother in Dresden. She's looking for a plumber. Back then, when I would do a search for plumber, I may have gotten a result in Berlin or in Hamburg. Why? Because Google search was optimized for web search, and the plumbers with the best SEO, most friendly SEO sites, they would have shown. Of course, I would never call a plumber from Berlin, from Hamburg, because I was interested for a plumber in Dresden, but there were no results in Dresden. That all changed with the rise of smartphones. At that point, Google started thinking, okay, what are genuine Google searches? What's the first thing you do nowadays when you look for a coffee shop that is open? If you look for a great restaurant, the delivery service, a phone charger because you forgot your phone charger and you're now suddenly on a business trip in London, an ATM, you need cash, you grab your phone. As the experience improved, because Google identified more and more of those local searches, also our consumer behavior adjusted. And today, the mobile phone is our legit companion whenever we go out there to explore and need something. And as such, Google local searches have exploded. Yes, all Google searches are still growing, but Google local searches is the one category that has completely exploded in the past 5 to 10 years and has taken over. Out of a bit more than 2 trillion Google searches, nowadays 1.1 trillion are local searches, which is 53% of all searches. And most businesses have yet to notice. Just to illustrate this a bit more, I broke out near me searches as a category versus what I call our general searches. As you can see, the general searches are actually declining at the expense of near me searches that are going through the roof. What's so important? If you are in the e-commerce space, you optimize for general web searches, you're actually fighting for fewer and fewer traffic, so your strategies are looking for more long-tail searches, or bidding higher in order to win. But there are already people dominating this space. It's Amazon and Check24. You typically will see lower conversion rates, a lot of price sensitive. On the other hand, near me searches are more in the space online to offline, even though, as we saw during the Corona crisis, you can actually also drive your e-commerce with it. Typically see faster sales cycle, higher CVRs, and lower price sensitivity. Examples would be Electronic Partners or Hook. Let me quickly stay with Hook versus Check24. If you look for car insurance without any location attached to it, most likely Check24 will win against Hook. Why? Because as a consumer, we like to see alternatives. So for us, Check24 has a higher relevancy. But Hook has a big asset, which is their locations, their service centers, their agents. For search, car insurance Nuremberg, car insurance Berlin, car insurance Hamburg, Hook has the potential to beat a Check24. Why? Because Google will treat this as a local search, and in that context, Hook has the higher relevancy because Check24 doesn't have locations. That's the power of near-me searches. So how does this change during the Corona crisis? And as you can see from the left chart, not at all. Local search volume has stayed stable. In fact, interest in local has actually increased because people needed to understand, was the shop I wanted to go to open? What are the rules? How many people can go there? Are there any restrictions? As one of our customers put it, for their 20,000 locations, we are the most important channel. Why? Because we are the means to communicate to their customers, to provide them guidance, to help them to convert in a different way. So what has changed is not the number of Google searches or the interest in local searches. What has changed is actually a path to conversion, which you see on the right-hand side. The number of driving directions has been reduced. However, people convert via phone calls and website visits. So what does it mean in the age of near me? At Uberall, we identified 3 key pillars. The first one I already touched on is the rise of local intent. The second is increase in complexity and pace. The third one is dominance of social validation orientation. Rise of local intent. With the help of the mobile phone, we're actually getting to explore our roots. Like I said, there was a change in consumer behavior. We're looking for things, we look at the results that it gets us, we assess them, and you might go there. How often did you have this, that you saw a result and you said, oh, I passed the shop dozens of times. I never occurred that I actually could get the things that I need right now over there. Happened to me a number of times this past year. In fact, the key thing of this is local intent is unbranded. 82% of all local searches are unbranded searches. I had an interesting conversation with the CMO of a global brand just a few months ago. Her argument was, yeah, we don't need location marketing. Our customers find us via our brand. If you go to our website, we recently published the unbranded versus branded search report. One of the key findings is, even for important consumer brands, most of their foot traffic towards their locations is coming from unbranded search. There's still a value in brand, but people need to find you first. So if someone looks for toys and Disney shows up, then they say, oh, Disney, yeah, I want to go there. But if you don't show up for toys, Disney will not get the traffic. Secondly, increase in complexity and pace. As digital marketers, you're likely very familiar with that one, so let me just fly over it. The important point is consumer attention is decreasing. We might be jumping from Instagram to YouTube to TikTok, then run a Siri search on Apple Maps, finally end up on Google Maps. As a business, you can't just optimize for one of those platforms. You have to be omnipresent. Secondly, consumers might also use different technologies which require different adjustment of how you present your search results. Consumer search could start on the platform, then jumps maybe to a mobile phone, and at the end of the day finishes off on the Google Home. Lastly, consumers are super quick to responding to changes. The rating of a restaurant might drop. People don't patronize it anymore. Corona changed our behavior, and so on. So you have to be always alert and accept those changes and recapture the communication with the customers. Lastly, dominance of social validation orientation. I think that's probably one of the key points. As one of my awesome co-workers at Uberall Marketing, Brad, put it in the reputation management report that we published, phones gave the consumer the knowledge, reviews gave them the power. As it stands, online reputation plays a major role in the consumer journey. Almost 100% of all consumers say reviews influence their buying decision, and more importantly, almost 90% say online reviews are as credible as personal recommendations. Think about what this actually means, those three trends together. In 2010, I was sent on an assignment to London. In order to find nice restaurants, I would have to ask co-workers or friends. They would say, oh yeah, this place is there next to this tube station. So you have to change there from one tube to the other, then you get out there and it's in this corner. If you're lucky, they had a website. There's involved huge transactional volume. Today, what you do is you look in your phone, you look for best Italian restaurant or best food around me. You get tons of options. You choose the one that you want, and Google even navigates you there. Afterwards, because I'm a local guide, I also post a review. This is a tremendous empowerment of the consumer and reduce the cost of finding new options. Everything else that doesn't show up becomes literally invisible to us. So what does a new customer journey then look like? I already alluded it in my London example. It's composed out of consumers need to be able to find you. The customers then assess you, and they do this via looking at social media, at your reviews, at smart conversations. They basically might start reaching out to you. If they like you, they buy you, then they might submit a review and come back. This creates a virtuous cycle, and the key element of this is actually, it's not about bombarding an email. It's more about using technology in a smart way to show that you have the human touch, that you are an actual business that cares about it. At Uberall, we believe near-me champions will win. Local is a huge opportunity that is too often overlooked. It's a fast and easy way to connect to new audiences. It's a successful setup to confront increasing local competition, and it allows you to convey your human touch of your national or global brand at the local level. On the right-hand side, have a look at those pictures. The point I want to make is not only about shops, restaurants, service stations. In the middle, you see an option for products and inventory. In fact, I believe product and inventory search will be the big thing over the next 3 to 5 years. And on the right-hand side, you have services, be it insurance or in this example, a smog check. Everything benefits from local searches. It's also not about size. Local is an attitude towards your customers that roam the neighborhoods. Of course, SMBs may have an easier game. They only have 1 or 2 locations. It's easier for them to be present on some of the key channels. But big brands have a lot to win or to lose as well. Just get the things right. Gregor, in the next section, is going to talk about local ads and some of the best practices that he learned from working with omnichannel leaders. Gregor?
Today, I want to share with you learnings from other omnichannel organizations. As you already heard from Norman, local search is evolving. Norman identified 3 main trends: the rise of searches with local intent, an increase in complexity, user journeys are becoming more and more complicated, the dominance of social validation. Now customers rely on reviews before they purchase your product. I want to explain to you how omnichannel companies that I work with react to these trends and how they adjust their digital marketing. For this, I will show you insights from our largest customers around 2 themes: ad products that are designed around capturing user intent and reach new customers, understanding the true value of online campaigns to be better able to optimize them. Let us first have a look into the search data. Here you can see the search trend using Google Trends. During the times of crisis, the near-me experience is even more important. When lockdown began in March, people started searching what they can do to support their local business. Or if a restaurant or a shop like yours near them offers option to pick up their products. Local is very important. And as Norman rightly pointed out, this journey starts online because people want to inform themselves before they make a decision. And then they turn offline and then turn to the stores. So another great data point to validate this is a recent Ipsos study. A majority of Germans said that they want to shop closer to their home, looking for ways to pick up products in stores. As a local business, it's very important to be present in these moments to your potential audience and show your offerings. And today I want to show you Google Ads products that can help you better target customers and capture this local demand online. A demand that is increasing and accelerated now more than ever. We at Google always develop our products with a user-first attitude. A great example is local inventory. Local inventory ads helps users to find products that are available for pickup in store near them. So local inventory ads help you to capture user intent because what we know from Norman, social validation is becoming more important, and local businesses like yours have a competitive advantage when they're around the store. So within this shopping unit, your product, as you can see here on the screenshot, will be displayed, and if it's available close to a user, Google will show the distance to the store. If you think back to Norman's example in the beginning, by the way, he still seems to be living in winter with trying to buy slates near him. But anyway, let's say you search for a bike, a little bit more suitable for this kind of weather. Now, with local inventory ads, you could see that you can go to the store next door and directly try it. We saw that this kind of ad format, with this little local annotation, is outperforming purely online ads because users value the availability of product and they also trust local stores. So if you're a retailer, we give you the flexibility depending on your setup and the logistics. You can mark the product for pickup today or for pickup later. Pickup today would mean that the user could directly walk into your store and get the product now. But in some cases, you might first have to dispatch it to your store. So that's why we also give you the option to go for pickup later. This gives retailers like you great flexibility and users a greater choice. So depending on your model, and if you have products you can pick up or dispatch them to your store, we would really recommend you to capture this user's demand and start with local inventory ad. You will need a shopping product feed and another feed, a new feed that will show the availability of these products locally. After you successfully uploaded these two feeds, you can start showing users that search for a product the availability nearby. And as you can see, the only thing that you then have to do is to check the small button in the Google Ads interface, and your shopping campaign becomes an omnichannel campaign. I already talked with you about the trend that more and more users research online for products and services. In a recent survey across 18 different countries, we found that 63% turn to Google before they make a purchase. In some countries and industry, this number is even higher. And we all know it also from our own behavior, right? When you search for a certain product. So what can you do to reach this potential new customers for your business in the right moment? If you're a local business, you might ask yourself, where are my most valuable customers? And being around your store is most of the time already a great signal. And this is also how we started local ads back in the day. I myself ran these kind of ads in the proximity of a pop-up store I was running last year. But that's another story. So people turn to Google, and each of this moment is unique. Google's machine learning algorithm can help you to optimize your ads on many, many different signals. For example, the distance to your store location, the type of search query, if there would be a local intent or not, or what kind of creative you have. And this will help you to deal with this more complex user journeys. And of course, we always strictly abide all current privacy regulations and only use the signals when we have the user consent. Google has 7 platforms with more than 1 billion users worldwide. Many people turn to us every day. They search, watch a video, or navigate to their nearest coffee shop. And with the signals and the help of this platform, we built a new product called Local Campaigns. Local Campaigns, the second product that I want to talk to you today. It has been built for local businesses to drive people to their store. And as you remember, Google has this many different user signals, and we combine them in this format and help them to target people around your store and make them aware of your offerings. So Local Campaigns fosters YouTube, the display network, Google Search, and Google Maps. And with this one campaign format, we can help you to optimize with the help of machine learning to bring people to your store. So essentially it's a push campaign, and you can reach new users that you might not have reached before. Local campaign allows you for the first time to access Google Maps inventory, which is great for companies that wants to reach new users around them. For many advertisers, having their logo on Google Maps proved to be a great tool to bring awareness to their store. The good thing about the format is that you only need a video, a display banner, your logo, and some ad copies. We will then automatically steer the campaign to get the most users for you and reach the most new customers. So now that I told you about different ad formats that can help you to capture user intent, but also reach new customers, let's have a look into how to quantify this and how to measure this. And quantifying the value for your business should always be the most important goal for you. Why is it so important to set goals? Many omnichannel organizations struggle with this. But if you want to be successful in the age of digital, you have to define goals. If not, your company would be like the robot that you can see in this picture, who's trying to turn the wheel. So he set the right goal, but in the wrong place. And especially if you have to understand the full value of your digital ads, it can be really challenging because there's so many unknowns, and you know this. You might ask yourself, how can I still measure success? This is why I have today a simple and yet effective calculation that many companies use to evaluate the value of their digital campaigns. As I said, I work with many large companies, and one of the main points for them is that they want to understand the return on investment from their digital campaigns. But when people research digital, but buy in store, there's a percentage of sales that you will not be able to measure. And to set up successful campaigns and target the right users, you need to find out ways how you can measure the impact of these campaigns without spending too much on market research or complicated system that can help you measure this. This is why I recommend to work with this simple calculation to understand the value of local actions. So first look, how many people interacted with your campaign? How many local actions did you drive with this campaign? From Norman, you will later learn how you can start with local ads that drive, for example, local calls or local driving directions. Then you have to turn to your backend. What is the average value of a purchase from a product or services? You can just use average data for 1 year to make up for the certain seasonality. So what is the average basket value size from people coming to your store or your local services? And then as the last step, you have to ask yourself, how likely is it that a potential customer that visits your store or location will be converting? And I know this is the toughest step, as you might not have any data from customers that walk into your physical locations. So try to work with assumptions and adjust it over time. This is a great way to find out the right number over time and already start working with something. Here you can see an example calculation. So you can see that one local action in this example brought a return on investment for roughly €4. We had 5,000 local actions. So this was local calls. Each of these local actions can cause an average basket value of €15. And we assumed an average conversion rate from around 25%. So the assumption is that 25% of the users that actually came later to the location converted. So only if you have this kind of clear understanding of the value of your campaign, you can evaluate them against other marketing spendings. And the great thing is you can add this in your Google Ads interface and let our system know what the value is. Like this, we can also help you to better optimize your campaign. And we know where you might have some spending budgets limits. The gold standard is to optimize regardless of sales channel towards an omni-channel return on investment. So you can see here in the example, no matter if you have online campaigns that drive online revenue or you have campaigns that drive offline value. You combine both to an overall omni-channel return on investment, so that you're not like the roboter that I showed you in the beginning, that you will set the right goals in the right place, and you can also optimize on them. So let's summarize. First, I talked with you about how to capture user intent and how to reach new customers using local campaigns. And then I showed you a simple calculation you can make to come up with the return on investment from your campaigns and compare them to other campaigns. Now I would like to hand back to Norman, who's going to deep dive into different ad formats, different local ad formats, and show you some examples on what kind of return on investment other companies made with this.
Thanks, Gregor. I love those insights from your omnichannel leaders. To summarize the first two parts of our masterclass, local ads deliver results fast. Gregor and I showed you that they capture intent close to the bottom of the funnel, near your physical locations, at the right time, with the right CTA, at a measurable ROI. Next, I want to talk about how do Uberall ads build on local ads, what are success stories, and then maybe share a couple of ideas on how you can use ads for the reopening of your locations post the crisis. As a key takeaway for you, Uberall took Google local ads and built a new interface around it. Uberall Near Me Ads are a proprietary interface to launch and manage local ads at scale. Where are they different? First of all, we give you a single platform to holistically manage your location marketing. So you're not only boosting your paid conversions, but also your organic conversions. If you think back to the customer journey, what we do is we give you a tool that you can manage all aspects in a virtual circle. Secondly, our interface makes it super easy to use. You don't need any AdWords knowledge. Thirdly, we enable you super fast deployment of your existing locations or customers. If you're already online with your locations, if you have claimed the GMB profiles, literally you can be live within a matter of hours. Fourth, our solution enables you to run campaigns scalable from a single location to 10,000 of locations. It's as easy. You want to manage a subset? No problem. You want to have a subset managed by someone else? Yes, you can delegate this. Lastly, we enable you to launch local campaigns for multiple publishers, not only Google, but also Instagram, Facebook, and others. At Uberall, because we are focused on location marketing, we have identified 3 key formats that benefit our customers. First one, direction ads. As the name says, they drive footfall to your physical locations. Secondly, call ads. People who search for your product or services will call a call center or the actual locations. Thirdly, website click ads. This will either drive leads to a landing page or to your e-commerce store. Let me explain those 3 in more detail. As an example for direction ads, let's use Conti Park. I didn't want to use a shop or restaurant. I actually use a parking lot operator. Conti Park is a Europe-wide parking lot and parking house operator. What they wanted to do is that sometimes they have excess capacity or free parking capacity that they want to promote, either underused parking houses or just because of the timing of the day they want more traffic. So they basically used direction ads and achieved an almost 8% conversion rate and an ROI of 2.5 to have more people using their parking houses. Quite an amazing success. Even better, and that's an example for call ads, Le Menu Service is a food delivery service for elderly. What they sell is monthly lunch and dinner subscriptions. They use Google Ads to target more of those searches for food delivery. They achieved a double-digit CVR of almost 15%. And more impressively, they achieved an overall cost per acquisition of less than 20 euro. Just put this in perspective, normally their description will easily be triple digit. Even more impressive, and that's an interesting takeaway for you, their paid traffic is 7 times as big as their organic traffic. So by switching on ads, they basically got 8 times as many calls in total. LMS is also an excellent example for a company that made the most out of Corona. They were right spot on, they kept their ads running throughout the period and acquired a lot more new customers. as demand was there. Thirdly, I have to revert to an example for website clicks. The campaign will start as soon as the lockdown is over. We're talking about a tutoring provider who provides classes to students either for the preparation of the school or to catch up with the learnings of the school day. What this provider wanted to achieve is not that people call directly at the locations. He wants to vet the leads first. So parents or students submit a landing page form and it will be called by the call center directly. An alternative would be a recruiting agency that want to appeal to people who look for work near their homes, or a construction company who wants to run ads centrally for all of their contractors and then distribute them to the local contractors. Like I said, I already talked in the LMS about Corona. I believe local ads or NIMI ads should be an essential part for your reopening marketing strategy. Why? First of all, you need to counter confusion. As you can imagine, over the past couple of months, with continuously changing rules, first the shops had restricted opening hours, then they may have been closed. Only one person may come, only up an appointment, and so on. People are unclear what the rules are. They are not sure whether they actually want to take the risk, go somewhere far away, and then be in front of a closed door. Like it happened to me when I went to a big furniture seller, and they suddenly said, "Oh yeah, we are open, but only a quarter of our shop." Unfortunately, the part that you wanted to see was not part of the open sections. So ads are important to counter this confusion. You can raise your hand, "Hey, I'm open and that's the rules." Secondly, because of all the confusion, people may have opted to go for new options that are closer to their homes. And now, as you lost your customers, you have to retrain the habits. "Hey, I'm there, you can come back." Thirdly, as you probably read, at the moment the traffic in the cities is only at 10% to maximum of 50% of what it used to be before the crisis. Just from this limited traffic, most shops will not be able to survive. So ads help you to accelerate the organic traffic. That's why I strongly believe ads should be an integral part of your reopening marketing strategy. If you want to know more, check out the more detailed guide on our website. Let's summarize, and that's probably the main slide I would like you to remember. First, your customers are searching for things, services, products, shops near them. In consequence, local search has taken over and is now more than half of all Google searches. This requires from you to create a human touch, near-me customer journey for them so that your customers can find you, like you, buy you, recommend you, and come back. Local ads are a huge high ROI opportunity. Remember the LMS example with almost 15% conversion rate from the click on the ad towards a new customer and a lower CPA. Uberall's Near-Me brand experience platform with our Near-Me ads is your scalable solution to drive and capture the organic and paid local demand. With this, I'm inviting all of you to touch base with us and put us to the test. Our Near-Me brand experience platform and our Near-Me ads. For all OMR participants, we will waive the service charges for the trial campaign. Simply scan the QR code to register or follow the link below and one of our ads experts will reach out to you shortly. I would like to thank all of you and hope to be in touch with you soon.
Thank you for joining us today. I hope you learned something and I wish you all a nice day.